Hello world, I'm John Laws. All right, 1300 564 652 on this Friday morning, January 27. And it's absolutely disgraceful to think that Australia Day celebrations could be marred by this ridiculous protest in Sydney where an Australian flag has been sent alight. The police moved very quickly to put that out, but that sparked an angry response from the left-leaning ragtag group of idiots, troublemakers. Some of the protesters were carrying placards calling on people to burn the Australian flag. Now, what if a rival group had tried to burn the Aboriginal flag? Well, can you imagine? Bloody sky would have fallen. Can you imagine the justifiable anger over that? I'm not saying it's not justified. And yet you can be a martyr for burning the Australian flag. Can't work it out. The logic's lost on me. Probably there isn't any logic. The vast majority of Australians are more than happy to mark Australia Day on January 26, and they had a happy and peaceful day, thank goodness. However, call us on 1300 56 4652. Look, I really have no idea why there's not a specific law against burning the Australian flag, especially given the violence we saw at that Invasion Day protest march in Redfern yesterday. What rubbish. And if they're so determined to change the date of Australia Day, why don't they protest on their alternative option? Well, I'll tell you why they don't, because they can't agree on which other day it should be held. You know, they know what they hate, but they have no idea as to what to do to change it. We've seen a ragtag group of far-left agitators led by the Greens, wouldn't you know, and the unions and several university groups, again, wouldn't you know, taking to the streets as part of their protest. Now, it could have been a peaceful march. Could have been a futile one, but it could have been peaceful. But instead you've got one idiot who can't control himself and thinks it's a very good idea to set fire to the Australian flag. Now, for public safety reasons alone, the police felt obliged to put out the fire, but suddenly they've been confronted by this angry mob of morons, pushing and shoving them. You know, the last thing police resources needed yesterday, on an already pretty busy day, was these lunatics marching through the streets of Redfern with their placards calling on Australians to burn the flag. Could somebody explain to me how the poor wretched flag gets dragged into all of this anyway? You know, if they'd bothered to look yesterday, these violent, idiotic protests would have noticed both the Aboriginal flag and the Australian flag proudly flying side by side on top of the Sydney Harbour Bridge. But you didn't notice that, did you? And just consider this for a moment. What if some far-right group had a march in support of Australia Day and they decided to burn the Aboriginal flag? Yeah, the sky would fall. The world had come crashing down on them. I dread to think about the outrage, and rightly so. But in the eyes of these leftist radicals, burning the Australian flag makes you some kind of hero. I think it's disgusting. Huge waste of police resources. Even, they even have police that didn't get any sort of permission to stage any sort of protest, to my knowledge. And ironically, most of the protesters are white. They're not of an indigenous background, one would think. It's just another cause that they can latch onto. Oh, it'll be the Greens and the tree huggers and all those mentally deficient individuals. During the scuffles, the Bambi Brigade will be there too. A woman has fallen over and hit her head during the scuffles when police came under attack as they tried to arrest a man. The woman has spent the night recovering in the Royal Prince Alfred Hospital. She gets hurt, but the idiot that shoved her, they want to protect him. 20-year-old man was eventually arrested and charged with assaulting police, resisting arrest and malicious property damage. He's since been freed on bail. I think that's a mistake. And I can tell you he's so white, yesterday's protesters may have been the first time he ever ventured outdoors. So he's a white fellow. And what complaint do we hear from the Greens about yesterday's protest? Oh, yeah, you guessed it. Police heavy-handedness. That's what the Greens are screaming out. God, you people, don't you realise the world laughs at idiots like you? So typical. They can ignore. You see, this is where you bring yourselves undone. You can ignore the protest. You can ignore the violence, You can ignore the flag burning even, but the bad guys in all of this are the police. It's a very, very warped view of the world. But that's what gives rise to the sort of idiotic protests that we saw yesterday. The Prime Minister, Malcolm Turnbull, had it right when he stated that most Australians accept January 26 as Australia Day. It's only a lunatic fringe that continues to agitate for change, and they have absolutely no right, does anybody have a right, to burn the Australian flag in the process. Okay, who we got there? Rima, is that your name?
Yes, good morning, Mr. Law.
Good morning, Rima. What can I do for you?
I would like to tell you what is in my mind today.
Good, good.
Yesterday, my husband and I, with our two Japanese students, I'm Armenian and my husband is American background, so we were really multicultural.
You certainly were.
We decided to go to Milsons Point and from there to walk the bridge and up to the Opera House.
Wow.
And along the way, we have seen so many unity among people from different different culture, especially Oriental looks. They all had Australian flag in their hands, and they were really proudly raising it to say that they are joining the happiness of today's celebration.
Well, isn't that nice? That's nice.
It was so lovely. I've been here for 42 years, so we really see, when we see all the people are together and enjoying the celebration of Australia Day, it really, that's the only, not that that's only day, but that's one of the days that I really feel Australian. Tears come from my eyes when they sing the Australia Day, and it just was a very, very good experience.
Well, Rima, if only we had some homegrown people who were as loyal and enthusiastic about this country as you are. Where did you come from, Rima?
I am Armenian.
Armenian,
yes.
but you've been here a long time.
42 years.
Long time.
I kept my accent, so...
Yeah, well, the accent obviously is pretty hard to get rid of if you've still got it after 32 years.
Yes. I have another thing to say about yesterday, before the time goes. I wanted to thank the police for their appearance and their, you feel so comfortable. You look and you see millions of people around you, and then you don't feel threatened, you feel comfortable and secure. And I wanted to say what a wonderful job they've done yesterday.
They're wonderful, the police. We can count on them every time.
Yes. Really, really grateful and appreciative, and thanks them.
Well, you're a very sweet woman, Rima, and thank you very much for the phone call. First one of the morning, and it's a goodie.
I've been calling you. This is my fourth time calling you through the 42 years.
Well, I hope it's not the last, Rima.
Thank you very much, John.
Okay. Bye. What a sweetheart. Huh? Lovely, and lovely to have people so enthusiastic about our country, as opposed to these other idiots who want to burn flags and things. There should be a really tough penalty for burning the flag. I don't think there is a specific penalty for that, but there should be. Wouldn't you agree? Shirley, are you there?
Yes, good morning, John.
Morning, Shirley.
John, before I get on to the other topic, the people that burnt the Australian flag, they should, when they present to Centrelink to get their payments, they should have to salute the flag. That might change their mind a bit.
Yeah, well, I don't think it'd make any difference to them. People of that sort of mentality could care less. They'd just go along. They'd think it was funny. Probably salute the flag.
Right now.
Yeah.
Yesterday...
1300 564 652 if you'd like to give us a call and tell us what's on your mind. Steve, are you there?
Yes, John, I am. How are you this morning?
I'm fine, thank you. Steve?
Yeah, I was just like to mention or have a comment about the incident with the flag burning. I didn't see it on telly or anything like that. I was just wondering, was it only Indigenous people or were there other extractions as well, John?
I didn't see it either, so I really can't comment. But in the main, Indigenous people.
Yeah, I heard your comment once. You said that the definition of an Indigenous person was someone that was born to the country they live in. Is that correct?
That is correct, yeah.
Yeah, so that makes us all pretty well Indigenous.
It does. It does. That's what I've said before.
Yeah.
And we all are, but we use the word incorrectly.
Yeah.
But these people who did that flag burning, they weren't all of Aboriginal extraction. They were members of the Greens Party, wouldn't you know? And annoying people like that who were getting themselves involved. But, it was just a ragtag group of far-left agitators led by the Greens. And the unions were involved, and wouldn't you know, some university students. Those are the university students who go to university and never leave. Or if they do leave, they don't leave with any kind of qualification.
Yeah, lifers.
Yeah, that's right. You're right there. All right, Steve, have a good day, mate.
Before you go, mate, just one more.
Yeah.
The lady that spoke earlier about when they go to Centrelink to salute the flag, I'd like to go one further than that. If they could find out who they were, take the Centrelink bonuses off them. And if they don't appreciate the Australian flag and what it stands for, see how they go without the backup that Australia gives them.
Yes, well-made point, Steve. Good on you.
Thanks, John.
Okay, bye.
Bye.
Very good friends.
Oh, well, that's good.
Yeah, very, very good friends. Hey, what I rang for, these protesters,
yeah.
Let's give them a date where they can do it every year. February 31st.
Yeah, not a bad idea at all, Brad. Not a bad idea. National Protesters Day, February 31st. Good, Brad. One 300-564-652. Warren, are you there?
Yes, John, yes.
Good morning.
Good morning, and how are you? Good?
I'm fine, thank you.
You sound pretty good, yes.
Good.
The burning of the flag, John.
Yep.
I think it's a crime against the people, and doesn't it go close to close to treason?
Well, that's what I think it is. I think it's to burn the flag of a country, if you're a member of that country, is absolutely a treacherous thing to do, and it should be regarded as treason.
If we took a vote, I think there'd be about a 95% majority that you shouldn't do things like that.
Well, you're quite right. You shouldn't do things like that. You're right on the money there.
I done 12 years in the RAAF, and we treated the flag with uttermost respect. It was a crime to deface the flag. And it should be. I always was told it's a crime to deface currency.
Well, that's true.
Putting holes and things like that and using them as pendants. And things.
That's right. Well, it is. But it certainly should be a punishable crime to burn the flag. And I'm sure that somebody very soon is going to look at it because we've about had enough of it.
Oh, I reckon they could find something in our legal system to find.
Well, I don't know if
of our national emblem.
Yeah, well, Warren, you'd have to wonder why they hadn't found it before now, given that flag burning has been an occupation for some time, and what an idiotic occupation, and what an insulting occupation. The people are just plain bloody stupid. Half the time they don't know what the hell they're doing anyway.
Bit of a larrikin.
Still being a bit of a stirrer. Hey, tell me, talking about stirring, what did you do for Australia Day? And what did you think of Australia Day?
Well, everyone knows my thoughts. It should be a day for mourning. It's not the right day to celebrate the unity of this country. I think there should be another day. I think that we should, pay respects and grieve and mourn to the First Nations people. And but I know today we're in a multicultural society, and we have to unite and try to live in harmony and come together. But that's just not the day.
How's your old man? Nolene, are you there?
Yes, John.
Good morning, Nolene.
Good morning. You had a caller just recently who suggested February the 31st is National Protesters' Day.
Yes.
Yeah, well, you've got to be a bit fair, John. Come on, how about making it February the 29th?
All right, whatever you like.
Well, I mean, it gives them a bit of a voice, doesn't it?
It does, yes.
And listen, I wanted to make a comment on Norman.
Ooh.
I feel a bit sorry for the guy. Think how exhausting it must be to live with so much hate inside you.
Yeah, well... One 56465 if you would like to give us a call. Little time left, not all that much, a little bit. Ross, are you there? Ross, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay, tell the kids to shut up and talk to me.
Okay. I was in the Army and my dad was in the Air Force, Australian Air Force, and he went to the Battle of Britain and fought. And I just like to give my opinion on this flag. I reckon there should be a month warning, and after that, I reckon anyone who defaces or burns our flag and caught should be given 1 month's jail. And
yeah.
Look at the Malaysians. People wear undies with their flag, and they look hard upon that. So what would happen over there if you burnt their flag?
Well, I think it would be a very good idea to punish people who want to burn the flag in Australia. I mean, we should be living in a time when we can all get along okay and we don't need fringe groups. And I'm sorry to say it's usually the bloody Bambi Brigade, the tree huggers, that want to go around burning flags and things. The Greens can be very aggravating people. I always maintain that they may well be green on the outside, but I think they're red on the inside. Yes, John, if you never saw the flag burning incident, how do you know